Hi everybody, so I am going to go through the parts of speech and we're going to do a review assignment on this PowerPoint and kind of talk through each part. Today we are going to do the first four and then tomorrow we will do the second four. So parts of speech. So words do specific jobs in the sentences to create meaning. Each part of speech has a different job. So I would open up this video and make it split screen with this PowerPoint so you can do it with me. To split screen, remember, you just make your window smaller and then, I have a million tabs open, and then you bring it over here until it does that thing, and then let it go and click on the other screen that you're looking at. All right, so split screen now. I'll give you a second with the PowerPoint assignment. Or I suppose you can just pause me. All right, so parts of speech review. The first part of speech we're going to talk about are verbs. So verbs are the engines that power sentences. Without a verb, a sentence goes nowhere. There are two types of verbs, action verbs and linking verbs. Action verbs show action, obviously, and then linking verbs show a state of being, okay? So they also indicate the time the action or state of being occurs, so present, past, or future tense, okay? So, for example, the pace. Sorry, my laundry's done. The space shuttle blasted into space. Blasted is an action, right? So that is our action verb. And then our second state of being, Joe was in New York City at last. Oh my gosh, look at my weird errors. At last. All right. So was is the state of being. I am, I was, we were. So looking over here at slide 3, look at the verbs that show action in the following sentences. So again, we have present, past, and future tense that are shown within our action verbs and our linking verbs. So the spider weaves a web, that's present, right? Past, the spider wove a web during the night. In future, the spider will weave a new web after the storm. So verbs like am, is, are, was, were, seem, feel, and become usually express a state of being. These verbs are called linking verbs. All right, so maybe I would write this down somewhere because you will need to know am, is, are, was, were, seem, feel, and become if you don't already for linking verbs. And then these are past, present, and future with linking verbs. So I am tired. After my workout, I became very weak, right? Past. And in future, I will be strong tomorrow. Okay? So here is your assignment for verbs. In the following sentences, highlight all of the verbs. Write A for action or L for linking in the parentheses next to the sentence. On the right-hand side, indicate whether the verb shows present, past, or future time. Okay, so my example, Gary seemed moody. We go back to our list, and it's a state of being, right? You can seem. So Gary did what? He seemed. So Gary is our noun, which we'll talk about in a second, our subject, and then seemed is our verb. And so I highlighted that yellow, and that is a linking verb because it doesn't show action. Okay, and it ended with ed, so that shows our past. I'll do one more with you guys. So the ozone layer protects the earth from the sun's harmful rays. So protects is a verb. It is an action verb because you can physically protect someone. and it ends with an S, so that is present. Okay? So go ahead and pause me and complete numbers 1 through 4 now. Well, I guess just the last 4. Complete those now. Pause me. Okay. Alright, so after you have completed your verb practice, we're going to move on to nouns. So nouns are words that name, persons, places, things, or ideas. Notice the 6 nouns in the following sentences. Julia is a person. She played tennis, right? That's all a person and a thing. Safety, a thing, becomes a concern, okay? Mr. Todd lives in London. So our capitalized friends here, that's not in the beginning of the sentence, Julia, Mr. Todd, and London are called proper nouns. Proper nouns name specific persons, places, things, or ideas, and they all start with capital letters. Common nouns, like tennis, safety, and concern, do not begin with the capital letters unless they begin a sentence, like safety. All right? So here are some more noun basics. We have some things called articles, okay? So the words a, an, and the are articles, and they will always signal that a noun will follow. So I ate a pickle. A pickle is a noun, right? It's a thing. They had an argument, an idea or a thing. The information seems important. Information is a thing. Oh my gosh, my dryer keeps buzzing. I'm sorry. All right. I wish I knew how to edit these things. Okay, so other words may come between a, an, and the noun. For example, I ate a sour pickle. I had a terrible argument, and the new information seems important. So a noun still comes after the article, but there is an adjective in between, basically, okay? And lastly, many nouns appear without an article, without a, an, and the. So I ate dinner, right? They had problems. Information comes from many sources. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So here's our little practice set for the nouns. Underline all the nouns in the following sentences. You will click on the word and then hold Control U to easily underline if you would rather do that. So I'll show you in a sec. Our example, Sundari finally found her way to the station. So Sundari is a person. She found her way is a thing. The station is a place, right? So let's do this one together. Grammar is the study of the main elements of language. So all you do is click on the word and then hold Control and U to underline. So grammar is a thing. Is the study is a thing. Of the main elements is a thing. And then language is a thing. So we get a lot on that one. All right? So grammar is the study of the main elements of language. So go ahead and pause me and finish numbers 2 through 5 on your own. And I'll meet you at the pronouns. Alrighty. Next we have pronouns. So a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. So it's a replacer, okay? Notice how pronouns replace some of the nouns in the following sentences. So regular sentences without pronouns. Julia plays tennis. Instead of Julia, we're going to replace it with the pronoun and say she plays tennis, okay? Safety became a concern. It became a concern. Mr. Todd lives in London. He lives in London. Okay, so these words that substitute for specific persons, places, and things are called personal pronouns, right? For a specific person, one person. They are the most common pronouns. Other personal pronouns, I and me, and then we, it's specific because I can, instead of saying we, I can say Brittany and her dog. You guys want to see my dog real quick? Can you see her? She's so cute. Baby. Anyway, um, so I, me, we, us, right? We can replace that with specific names. You, him, her, they, or them. So personal pronouns are personal because they can be replaced with specific people's names. Okay? The other type of pronoun we have are indefinite pronouns. So they don't refer to specific people, places, or things. They include like each, everyone, everybody, anyone, somebody, both, some, all, and most. Okay? So look at these sentences that contain indefinite pronouns. Everyone bought a ticket. Okay? You're not going to name every single person in the school in your sentence. So it's indefinite because there's an indefinite number of everyone, right? The storm caught all of the workers by surprise. Same thing, indefinite amount of everyone. And then anybody, not specific people, can learn English or grammar, okay? And then here's our practice set for the pronouns. So you are going to underline all the pronouns in the following sentences. On the right side of the chart, indicate whether the pronouns are indefinite, so you'll just put an I, or personal, a P. So here's the example. Anyone may take him to soccer practice. So anyone is indefinite, right? And then him is personal because you can say anyone can take Pete to soccer practice, right? So it replaces a personal name. Let's do one more together. It really does not affect someone like me. So we have someone. Oops, sorry, heard my dog. So someone we're going to underline, and then me we're going to underline, okay? So someone is indefinite, right? Same thing as anyone, that type of thing. So someone equals I, and then me is personal, right? Someone like Brittany Brown or Miss Brown, right? And then me equals personal. So again, go ahead and pause me here and finish the last couple for pronouns, and then meet me at adjectives, okay? All right, so the fourth or last one we're going to talk about today, parts of speech, is an adjective. So adjectives are words that describe nouns or pronouns. So now that you know what nouns and pronouns are, we can easily figure out the describing words for those. So adjectives usually come right before the words that they describe. However, sometimes they come after linking verbs. The articles a, an, and the are always adjectives. So you always categorize any article, those three, a, an, and the are articles, and they're always adjectives. Okay? So look at the following sentences that contain adjectives. So this is adjective before a noun, usually how it happens. So high waves make happy surfers. So we have waves and surfers as our nouns, right? What kind of waves? We ask, okay? Maybe I ask, what kind of waves? High waves, which makes high our adjective. And right, what kind of surfers? Happy surfers. Happy is describing our noun, right? So adjectives after linking verbs is a little bit different. So you would say the waves are high. So still describing the waves. How are the waves? They are high. The surfers are happy. How are the surfers? They are happy, right? Still describing the nouns, just after the linking verbs are there, okay? And yeah, so adjectives describe nouns. Super easy, just kind of ask those questions. What kind? How are they? Blah, 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 okay? With nouns, because we have adverbs that describe verbs, but we'll talk about those tomorrow. So just nouns and pronouns. So here's our practice set for adjectives. Underline all of the adjectives in the following sentences. So our example here, several people made low scores on the exam. So how many people? Several. What kind of scores? Low. And then the is the article, right? So here's another one. An is an article. Oh, I should hold Control U, okay? And thing is our next noun. What kind of thing? An unusual thing, okay? And then happen is our verb, right? On a recent fishing trip. So we have a trip, that's our noun. What kind of trip? Fishing trip. And when was the trip? Recent. So again, what kind of thing? An unusual thing happened on a recent fishing trip. What kind of trip? Recent fishing. Okay, so those are our describers. So go ahead and finish number 2 through 5, and I'll meet you in the last slide. All right, so your last assignment for today. So the sentences in practice sets 1 through 4 tell a little story about a fishing trip that became dangerous. Write a paragraph of 5 to 8 sentences about a dangerous situation that you have experienced. Use as many descriptive adjectives as you can. So use a bunch of adjectives, describe those nouns, okay? And then underline all of the adjectives in your story. So I ask that you have at least, let's see, 10 adjectives in this. So I'm gonna modify this right now. At least 10 adjectives in your story. Okay? And once you're done with this, just click submit and exit out, and we will do the second half on a new PowerPoint tomorrow. Okay? Make sure you have watched the syllabus video and done the form for the syllabus and have this turned in, and then you are good to go for today. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.